Today, I'll be discussing how our different cultural identities shape the practice of marriage. Identity can be defined as the fact of being who or what a person or thing is, and a cultural practice generally refers to the manifestation of a culture or subculture, especially in regards to the traditional and customary practices of a particular ethnic or other cultural group. For me, marriage is no longer a cultural event. When marriage is exposed around me, it is more about the materialistic value and the idea of who can get the best photo to show everyone. Marriage has gone from a very sacramental ceremony to one of materialistic value. I am an Australian and I have only ever been to Australian weddings, where there has been no real traditional element carried through. Judy believes that marriage in Taiwan is still a cultural event and is not just about love, but also focuses on marital interests. There are a number of traditional events that occur throughout the Taiwanese weddings, such as the ancestral worship or the tea ceremony, which is done in most traditional Taiwanese weddings. These rituals are exclusive to Taiwanese-style weddings, which is why she believes that it holds a cultural element. Samir agrees that in Assyrian culture that marriage is seen as a cultural event. He believes that it's a concept that is still upheld in the community as part of a traditional and social expectation, which is ultimately the Syrian definition of culture. Marriage in Syria is a very important cultural and religious practice, and it has not changed much over time. Julia believes in her Egyptian culture that marriage is a cultural practice, how it was intended to be, a celebration of commitment between two people who share vows done in the culture they identify with. However, in the recent years, she believes that marriage has been taken out of context and has become a hype, a new stage of life to show off a new relationship status. Marriage in the Aboriginal culture is definitely seen as a cultural practice. Aboriginal peoples have a strong culture identity, and marriage is a union where things such as kinship and family structures remain cohesive forces which bind Aboriginal peoples together in all part of Australia. In the past, marriage was very important to Aboriginals as it was a way to maintain populations and therefore keep up traditions to ensure that children were produced according to the right family group and affiliation. Marriage amongst Aboriginal groups also creates stronger connection to their relationship to their land. Some Aboriginal people can draw strength from their traditional culture. They can still practice their ceremonies, songs, and dances and speak a language to which their group they belong to. Others do not have such ready access to or may not know their language group, cultural relationships, or family history. Therefore, marriage is a cultural practice as it is the roots where all their cultural practices branch from, such as smoke ceremonies and the assignment of the roles and responsibilities between kinship groups. It is a practice expressing Aboriginal culture and identity and heritage that has been linked to hundreds of peoples groups and their tight-knit communities.